Hey there everyone, Hitesh here and welcome to another Saturday Live. It's a bit early this time, usually it's around 9 o'clock, but today it's a little bit early because I was having some free time now and later on stuff is busy. So I'm here, all for you. Now let me first go ahead and move to my studio, do the regular stuff, otherwise it would be hard to read any message at all. And thank goodness that now there is an option that I can actually turn on the slow mode and stuff. So anyways, how's it going on for you? Is YouTube sending notification to anybody for joining this live? Or we're gonna be alone up here? Okay, I can see a few thumbs up. Hopefully it's gonna start fetching the comment section as well. Okay, so live is up here. Taking a little bit while. Have patience. Let's go to live control room. Okay, so we are having people. Ayush, hello Ayush, how are you going? Sanjeev is also up here. Sagar is here. Sanjeev, love from Tamil Nadu. Hey, love to you as well. And a lot of more people. Ritik says, hello, sir. Good evening. Good evening to you as well, Ritik. How's it going on for you? Okay, so now it has started to flood. Let me turn on. Somehow the YouTube is slow. Live chat, enable slow mode. Why can't it just save the slow mode forever until I ask it to not allow enable the slow mode? Okay, so Ankush says, finally you got a haircut. Yes, I got a haircut. That's the charm of owning multiple business other than IT. It's tough to get a haircut these days. But yes, it's we're getting. Okay, so hello Sumit, love from Varanasi and love to you as well. Shahbaz says, how are you, sir? Doing okay? It's tough situation everywhere. Let's not go in that side. Okay, Samant says, which backend framework is preferred in industry, Spring or Node.js or Django? All of them. All of them are preferred in industry. Uh, some of the larger corporations whose software are already built, they are not building any new stuff. They prefer Spring. All the new startups and new companies which are now pioneering the things like Razorpay and a whole bunch of other things, Stripe and all of that, they actually prefer now Node.js and Django kind of a stuff. Bunch of others as well. Some still prefer PHP as well. Okay, Suraj Gupta says, sir, which language should I prefer for beginning in it? You can start with pretty much any language. There is no such hardship to start with just C or with Python or with Java. It depends on what's your goal. If your goal, let's just say, is I want to build Flutter app, I want to try my hands on Flutter. You can directly start with Dart. There is no issue in at all. I know a lot of my friends who started directly with Java and moved into Spring and all of that, and still to this date, they don't know anything about C and are working in MNCs. So that's really out there. Tech Boldy says, nice haircut. Thank you. I prefer short hairs. Otherwise, uh, the code is already very frustrating. And on top of that, if you get your hairs in the eyes and stuff, it irritates me. Palak says, how is this lockdown? Horrible, horrible. I'm just fed up with this lockdown. Enough of all those motivation and stuff. Just stop these things now. I'm really uh, stuff like that. Okay, Adi Pradhan says, you can have a salon as well. I have multiple. We do own a couple of more businesses. It's not just I'm totally on YouTube and just don't do anything. Okay, Nilesh says, how is your gym going on? Please create a Spring Boot camp, Spring Boot course. Hopefully in the near future. There are a lot of plans going on. And I was thinking how many people are actually watching it. Let me pop this out so that I can see more of the chats. And I'll take this one on my desktop. And there we go. Hopefully this is going to connect. There we go. Okay, we're going to keep it side in case any super chat comes in or something like that. So we're going to just keep it there. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick up. Hi, Tesh. Please guide us on Golang and its future. Let's talk about Golang a little. Now, Golang is a different language. I would say Golang that if in today's date, in 2021 or 2020, if somebody needs to design a C language from scratch, that's the Go language right now. And it's gaining a lot of attraction. But the learning mindset of Go is different. You're going to see a lot of features are missing in the Go, and they are deliberate. They are not going to come in Golang in the future. Uh, they are just like that. Okay, so there was an interesting question by Rupesh. Your take on Domino's data leak. Domino's got a data leak. Apart from that, Air India also got a data leak. It's data hacking. As I say always, it's a cat and mouse game, and they are always going to be like that. Somebody leaks the data, somebody secures the data, somebody creates the data. It's a horrible game. But yeah, the Domino's as well as the Air India, both are having a nightmare situation as of now. Okay, so I can move this screen a little bit up here. Just arranging my screen so that I can see all of you just up here. Okay. Hi, sir. Currently working in CTS as a fresher. Want to shift to cloud. Planning to get AWS CCP certificate. Will I be able to switch after that? No, sadly, no. Just after CCP, you won't be able to switch. I've hardly seen, and in fact, I don't see much value with just the CCP. CCP is a beginner level certificate to get you an overview of what cloud is, what are different services, and that's pretty much it. I recommend you to go for at least architecture level of knowledge so that you can get better idea about how things are happening and what things are happening. So that would be better for you. Don't go for just CCP. You can go for CCP, but don't expect that you will be getting a job switch or higher package in just CCP. It's not like that. Okay. How much to focus on the core CSE subject? If you're talking about the core subject that are allotted just by the college, it's not really much to focus up there. But if you focus a little bit more on the core subject, we are talking about networking, DSA, DB, databases, architecture, then these are definitely worth it. Hey Dheeraj, thank you so much for the super chat. There's another super chat. Let me find that quickly. There's a super chat by Murari. Thank you so much, Murari. How's it going on for you on the day? And there's no question. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. What is Docker? Okay, where's the question? Yeah. What is Docker container image? Docker, we are going to definitely talk about not just Docker, actually, moreover on container, the Kubernetes and stuff. Yes, we are going to talk about that. That's the plan for next week or something. We'll be starting to post articles, all that. The first plan was to post articles directly on Kubernetes, but we realized that a lot of people don't have the foundation of Linux. So we decided, okay, let's scratch the Kubernetes first and first go for Linux basics. And that's why we posted a whole lot of articles on our blog on Linux basics. And now we'll be going for Kubernetes. So you'll understand about the Docker container. It's going to be a really in-depth series, but it's going to take its time. Quality stuff takes a little bit time. Okay, so there's another super chat. Let me bring that on the screen so that all of you can see that. Okay, where is the super chat? Sometimes it's difficult to find. Thank you so much, Aslam, for super chat. And there's another one here. What's your thought on remembering so many functionalities, syntax, method which are available, which allows us to do something in a better way? I don't remember. Let me give you one example here. I hope you can relate with that. I use a tool or an extension known as Emmet to write HTML. So whether you write HTML kind of a stuff in React, Angular, Vue, or anything at all, or even just for testing purpose, the Emmet is like so much powerful that I use just like 20 to 30% of it, not much more. Remembering all the syntax is really similar to this. You don't need to use everything to be extraordinary productive. Like that's not feasible even. Just remember as much as you can on the first go and make sure one important thing, you keep on revising the subject. Revision makes things good, and when you revise it again the next time, you learn one more or two more things. I don't remember everything. That shouldn't be approach actually. Your approach should be more on revision. Okay, I'm using this much of functionality and now I'm comfortable with that. Take a look again on that topic, subject, or whatever you are learning, and in the next go, just learn one more thing. Iteration is the most important thing. It's the most powerful thing. Okay, thank you so much for the support, Akhil. I really appreciate that. There is another super chat by Sambit Saho. Please suggest some cool stuff to motivate during coding. Okay, I don't know. The finishing deadline is the motivation usually. I don't listen to song to get motivated on the coding. It's the excitement, and moreover, you are going to enjoy the stuff when you start enjoying the journey. One of the very frustrating journey is to make courses as well. I hope you can see these React, Angular, Mern, and all these courses. Can you imagine how much of the secrecy I have to keep when I make these courses, and how much of the motivation I have to keep that yes, this course is going to be out very soon? The process, love the journey, and that's the only motivation. I'm not going to give you to listen to Arnold or anybody. You can be pumped up in the gym, but coding is frustrating, and it's going to be like that. Abhijit says, "Hi sir, how are you? What should be the minimum experience we should have switching our next company, considering it will be the second company of your career?" I guess minimum of 1.5 years. Like if somebody switches just in 1 year, the first job actually, it's gonna be tough for you to answer these questions in the interview. I think at least 1.5 years or at least 2 years should be there, and join that. And yeah, by the way, this reminds me that in the last in the last this live that we went up, I talked about that we need to hire UI, UX, and on somebody on the React MERN stack. Thank you so much. A lot of application came in, and I'm happy to announce that we have already finalized our designer, who is already working on our project. He actually got onboarded really really fast. And another for the React, we have also finalized the candidate, so a lot of stuff is going to be coming up there as well. And now, in this live, okay, listen first, guys. This is important. I want to host some of the competitions on competitive programming. So, in case you do competitive programming and you have arranged some of the competition in your college and stuff, I would love to hire you on board, whether or however you want to get high on board as a part-time, full-time intern. I don't like intern. Scratch that off. Project contract based, part-time or full-time job to host more competitions at LCO, design these competitive programming questions, designing their test cases, edge cases, their output, and something like that. I hope many of you have done these kinds of CP things in the past. These competitions are going to be absolutely free for all the audience, and we are planning a whole lot of giveaways in the future. So I need definitely your supporting hand to organize these competitions. So just reach me out in case you are pro in competitive programming, and please, in the message, don't say that you are a 5-star hacker rank coder. I know that's a good thing to have, but I want a little bit more experience, that how many problems you have solved, how many varieties you have solved, what's your knowledge and experience. And then we are going to set up an interview. I'll ask you a few questions on the competitive programming. If you are able to explain that properly, you can get on board, uh, just like that. Okay, moving back, there are a lot of questions coming up, so let's take them as well. Okay, some super chats as well, so we're going to prioritize them. And a quick announcement. And again, to reach me out, just reach me out on Instagram. That's the fastest way of reaching me out. Okay, the first super chat. Shall I go for MSUS or look for better jobs here? I'm not really a big fan when people actually leave the country. You can do masters here as well. The masters in US is damn expensive. If you're getting good scholarship or 100% scholarship, then only it's worth going there. It's not going to be any magical. And once you go for masters in USA, you obviously will be looking for opportunities there. I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer people to stay in their own country and help the country. Every single thing that you do in your own country actually helps your country by paying taxes, hiring more people, working for somebody. I'm all about staying here and helping out, craft a business here in case you want. There's another super chat. Is CP overhyped in case of placement or necessary? Yeah, it is a little bit overhyped, especially in the FANG companies. A lot of companies which are not FANG, and they don't need people to grill them so much on the competitive programming. There is no need in your organization for competitive programming. Comedy programming is for people who can design extraordinary solution, can come up with an extraordinary solution for existing product and save a lot of bandwidth or maybe pricing somewhere. Your company don't need that. Your company doesn't even have a proper good product like Gmail or maybe YouTube or something like that. So stop grilling people on the competitive programming. Your company don't need that. I don't grill people on competitive programming much. And if I'm asking any competitive programming question to any person, I'm making sure that whatever company I'm hiring for, that company pays him extra 20, 30,000 because he is good in that. But my interviews usually start with the foundation of programming, then solving some basic teeny tiny problem like CRUD operations or something, and just like that. Okay, there's another super chat. Hey Tesh, what are your thoughts on CI/CD, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes for the native Android developer? Uh, Android developer don't need that much because if you need to configure Jenkins CI/CD, you would definitely need a machine and a machine like master and a slave for that. Master needs to configure Jenkins, and master need to pull up all the configuration, and slave need to deploy that. So, as an Android developer, you don't need that much of knowledge. I would say, if you're an Android native Android developer, brush up your more skills on probably animation, probably core database. Um, MySQL, MongoDB, that should be more over an approach. Surely Jenkins is not going to harm you if you do that. But I wouldn't recommend somebody who has just finished up an Android and move into Jenkins. Like the path doesn't sync up. You are just jumping around quite a lot. And jumping around is not going to serve you much. Okay. Anshul says, Redux with Next.js. Can you help, sir? There's not much content available on internet. I'm trying my best to get more free time, but the more I'm trying to get free for YouTube and stuff, immediately somehow a good opportunity comes in and I'm not able to say no. The price is really good for my time, and uh, I really want to make more videos and stuff, and I'm planning something big for that, but I'm not able to get like time of that. Okay, Node app on Docker with 2 instances versus PM2 with 2 cluster. Which is better in terms of resource usage? Uh, it depends actually. So on one side you are having, okay, let me bring that back. Node app on Docker with 2 instances, with PM2 of course. Okay, that's a tricky one. I would go for Node app on Docker with 2 instances. And I thought a little bit about it. Of course, that was a question to think a little bit. I would prefer Node app. Doesn't necessarily need to be on Docker, but two of the instance I would prefer versus PM2 with 2 cluster, because I guess the PM2 we are talking about is in the same instance. I think if I talk about the fault tolerance, then the first case would be much more fault tolerance, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just a regular programmer just like you. But if I believe if we host two of these instances into separate and we are containerizing them as well, we are going for more fault tolerance. And that is always better for any application which is going to have much more traffic. This reminds me, I should really make a video on PM2 actually. PM2 requires a little bit of configuration. And for just rest of all the audience, when you deploy your app into production, we don't use npm, we use PM2, and we configure PM2 to keep that app running continuously. So I hope, but really, a big shout out to Shanil K. Samantha for asking such a brilliant and great question. I would really appreciate such kind of tricky question that puts me in a thinking mode and a trouble mode. If I'm wrong in this case, openly criticize me and let me know that what points I'm saying and where I'm wrong. I would love to have a healthy discussion on this. I truly appreciate that. Okay, Sahil says Fastify versus Express. Is that even a question? Express, of course. More community support, a little bit more stable just because of that. If you're talking about production app, which is going to handle thousands and thousands of people, if you're just going on an experimental mode, then surely maybe Fastify, but moreover on the production grade, I'm still on Express. Okay, so There is another super chat. Let me quickly search for that. I've actually opened up two windows to see the chats. Okay. Telugu Droid. Reminds me of Telugu. uh, Thanks for the courses, sir. So helpful to me. Any blockchain course coming up? It's quite hard to run local node of ETH, Tron, etc., sir. Uh, Thank you so much for your kind support and kind words here. But one thing you should really know about me, I never ever release the info about upcoming courses. This puts an extra pressure on me that, hey, when you're going to finish it, it's going to be best course, beautiful. No. When I don't release you the info about upcoming course, it allows me an extra time. And sometimes I have to delete the videos because of the quality issues, video issues, audio issues, or maybe just in general, I was not able to explain it properly. And if I recreate that video, I'll be able to explain more. Uh, I have just today deleted 3 videos because they were not up to the mark. So I just deleted them. I'll recreate them tomorrow. It's important for me to get that amount of time. So please. uh, Kumar Abhishek says, who is cutting your hair in the pandemic? Charm of owning multiple businesses and some businesses being offline. That's great. Okay, there is a super chat by Abhijit. One more question. I'm actually working as a dev now, but I actually wanted to working in product design, UX. But since I have experience in dev, how difficult it would be to switch? Come on, I have been learning it myself and doing stuff by own. Abhijit, again, first, thank you so much for the super chat. The second thing is, what I've realized is developers are actually much more friendlier and faster to go into UI and UX. Now, let me tell you one example. I am more onto the design side, not user experience side. I love design. So all the blogs that you see on the blog Learn Code Online, I design those images. All the thumbnail that you see, I have leveled up my game a little bit there. That's all design. And just because with the programming, your mindset is much more open and you're open to learn, as well as coding is, you know, that it's a tricky job. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's horrible sometimes. So that actually brush your mind quite fast and your brain works really fast. And through that, you can learn these design software and UX quite nicely. And coming up onto your question on the UX side, I personally don't have much of the user experience. That's why I hired in the last live that, hey, I want to hire. And we have hired a UX guy who knows more than me about the user flow and how about that. So you definitely should take some courses. I cannot recommend you one. I'll definitely look for one course or something, some book that I can recommend you. Right now, I don't know any course that actually teaches better user experience. I'll definitely try that out, but I think you should definitely switch it if you're looking forward for that. You should definitely give it a try. What's max bad is going to happen? You will try it for a 1 or 2 year and then you'll jump back into programming. Nothing to lose. 2 years, I would say nothing. If I would be at your place, I would definitely give it a shot. Okay, from where to learn physical server management? Interesting question. I have zero idea. In the previous days, I actually worked on one of the client, but again, I was also working, like, I never went on to physical server, plugged in wires or anything like that. I've seen that. I have never worked in that. I have no idea. Things are moving to cloud and now that's how it is. Okay, Akhil says a 1.5 years experience in SAP support. All right. Project. Is it possible to move to web development considering my experience? Nope. I know that's a terrible reply. You don't want to see that. But no, your experience is in the SAP support. So your experience is not going to be carrying forward into the development world. It's almost like saying that, you know what, I have an experience in selling ice cream and now would you hire me as a baker? No, you have a selling experience. Selling experience is not equal to baking experience. It's different. So that's how your SAP support experience and your development experience are completely different things. So no, you can move into development, but you will be considered as absolutely fresher. Sorry for the bad news, but this is it. Cannot sugarcoat that. Okay, Sunil says, I'm not sure, but I have seen for the case Docker with two instances taking much more RAM and CPU than PM2 with two cluster. Yes, of course, that is going to happen. That is going to take a little bit more RAM because Docker is also running and a couple of other things are running. If you can remove the Docker layer, then it's going to be much more easier. But maybe you need a Docker layer. So in that case, I would say yes, that was supposed to consider more RAM, but you need to figure out what's the priority. The priority is to save money and struggle a little bit in the availability of the app, or the priority is that the app should be all the time available to the users. Availability is my number one agenda, because obviously there's going to be, balance. So we have to play around with that. High cost, high availability, which is the priority? Reduce down the cost or reduce down the availability? That's what it is. And that's what I've seen actually in the cloud all the time, that you always compromise either paying a little bit higher for the resources when you give high availability. And if you reduce down this availability, then obviously going with the second option. So your bill is definitely less, but there are chances that your app is not going to be fault tolerant. So yeah. Okay, moving on to the super chats. Come on. Okay, started my e-commerce company, Vegipala.in, Angular. Hey, big shout out. And I would say cheers for your new company. If anybody starts a new company, new venture or something, my big shout out to that guy, because I'm in full support of people who are trying something in the business world. It's not easy. A lot of people in the beginner phase actually think that learning programming, that means I can do business. They are very, very different thing, my friend. Doing business and programming are two different things. Okay, do you remember the resume section on LCO, which I've asked a couple of Saturday lives ago? That is actually under construction kind of a thing. Um, if Surya, you are watching this, I, you know, it was supposed to be coming to me today, but it didn't came. Probably tomorrow you're going to ship that. So yes, that resume thing is under construction. We are polishing it a little bit, and then we have hired another guy to actually keep on giving you more features. So you can request me more feature once the base component is out and you can actually use that. And then you can just request more features, and our developer is going to be constantly working on upgrading with the features. So yes, the resume thing on LCO is coming up. Okay, Pratik says, what matters most, soft or hard skill? Let's just say, on a vague note, you're talking about hard skills as programming or design and soft skill as talking up here. You need a combination of both if you want to go like at a really, really great height and want to travel across in multiple projects and stuff like that. Okay, there's a super chat by Anirudh. Okay, that's funny. Any product design learning that you got on job? Anirudh, you can definitely directly message me for these questions. You don't need to do super chat. But thank you so much. Coming to your question, any product design learnings that you got on job? Yes, there is. If you're asking, like, I'm not able to get your questions properly, but if you're asking that, do we have a guy on board for designing the entire application? Yes, we got a person on board. And if you're looking for, do we have any work for these kinds of design? Yes, we are running behind on 3 projects. Okay, moving on. There are a lot of super chats. I'm coming on to all of them. Just give me a minute. Love this drink, by the way, from the raw mangoes. It's one of my favorite one. What is better way for making coding tutorial? Add audio simultaneously with recording or add audio after screen recording? It depends. If you are not showing up yourself on the screen, then I have done a lot of tutorials in the initial days where I add up audio later on. It sometimes helps you to actually concentrate the video quite fast because you can speed up the screen and add audio on top of that. So that's faster way. If definitely you're appearing in the smaller section, like I do appear in the smaller circle at the bottom, then you have to do it on the go. But in the initial days, overlapping the audio later on actually makes much more sense and makes life a little bit easier. So, but I didn't stay for that regime for long. Only the initial like 10 or 20 videos I have made that way. And after that, I moved up like, I can do this on the go. Definitely takes more take to record one video. Sometimes you lose the momentum. Sometimes things doesn't go as you want in the video. So you have to scratch that off entirely, delete that and re-record that. And sometimes it's not just one video that goes in trash, because let's just say this video was supposed to be in 3 part and you messed it up in the third part. Now you cannot go just one back. You have to go 2 times back to actually fix that up. So a lot of videos actually goes in trash that way. And sometimes you forget to turn this guy on. That's a nightmare. I have almost 2 years of experience in Android development and planning to take AAD certificate exam by Google. Do you think it will help me in my career? Honestly saying, no. I don't think that you should go for spend that much amount of money for Google certification. Rather, I would say that spend that much amount of money in building something more awesome. So spend that amount of money in hiring a UI UX guy and just think about some project and just grab all the screens and everything from that UI UX guy and make your portfolio like extraordinary. Like we build this e-commerce app or we have built this social media. This was the complexity of the project. That will help you better to get a job than just a mere certificate. You're spending money. So if you have money lying around, there is no problem in going for certification. Okay, quite a lot of super chat. Nihar OKZ. Did I say your name correct? Thank you so much for super chat anyways. Okay, Jobin's Tech says, what is product manager? See, developers are not made to talk to the clients. And in my opinion, developers should never ever talk to clients, because the way sometimes client behave, it's not very friendly with the developers. And sometimes developer, the way they behave, it's not friendly to client as well. So we need somebody in between who can actually keep a guidance on how the project is going on, what's the deadline and what new features you are working on, as well as conveying those features to the client and receiving the feedback from the client that what new feature you want and then implementing it. So that's moreover like a job of product manager or the project manager, as you say. Basically, as somebody who is heading in charge that how the things are going to be going, which feature we are going to take on priority, which feature will go on later on. So that's kind of a job. And what I've seen that some companies actually hire based just on the PM2 certificate. And that's where the nightmare starts. If your company has got a product manager who has escalated from the programming background, that's when you get the best out of the best product manager. Otherwise, it's like really. Okay, there's something interesting. I'll come back onto the super chat, but this one is actually interesting. Not technical, but what do you think that Elon Musk one statement can manipulate price in crypto? In future, we can see someone can manipulate technology world also. Thanks for always great content. Hey, thank you so much. And yes, that got me worried a little bit, because I was also thinking once that, okay, I have some more cash lying around, so I probably can invest then in crypto. I don't. I still haven't invested like even a single rupee in crypto. Just when I was thinking, I saw that Elon Musk can manipulate the market. I realized what's stopping Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and all these big guys to come and manipulate the market. There is no SEBI or any governing body who can stop doing that. There is no marker to shut down the market if it is falling too great or rising too high. So there is no regulation in the field, and putting my hard-earned money in the place where the regulation is not there. So I decided I'm good with the shares. SBI is growing now, so I'm all happy. So yeah. Okay. So many super chats are coming. Hey, I really appreciate all those guys who are sending the support. I hope these questions are helping other audience as well, because these are really interesting questions and stuff like that. Puneet, can you please talk about GitHub Action CI/CD? Yes, I am planning one video on GitHub CI/CD. That's going to be coming up very soon. What GitHub allows you, GitHub Actions, briefly overview, what GitHub Action allows you is they provide you these webhooks. And then when these webhooks are configured in a way that it goes to something like CI/CD, like Jenkins, let's just say, then Jenkins becomes some guy who actually constantly monitors the GitHub. As soon as there is a change being detected in GitHub, Jenkins pull all these changes and put that into the slave so that new changes can be pushed up. I know this is really vague overview, but I hope this gives you a little bit idea of doing the things. Okay, Yash says, do you think Mern is overrated over Django? Like, that's not even a question. Like, how you can just say Mern is overrated, that's fine, but you say Mern is overrated over Django, that means you're comparing two. And no, I would say yes, Mern is a little bit more popular and for all the right reasons. Some things are popular for all the right reasons, and Mern is one of them. Okay, there are more super chats, so let me quickly find that because a lot of them are there. Don't worry, I haven't missed them yet. Technology is so awesome. I agree. Working with Python and Django at day job at MNC from last 5 years. React and React Native at night for personal project. I would say a big shout out to you, Nihar OKZ. I hope I said your name correct. But I would say guys like you actually rise above all of the rest of the competition because you are not making excuses. You are working really hard in your day job, which of course everybody does, but you're spending more time in learning new stuff, at least mobile world or something more. And that actually eventually rise you among all the other competition. So big shout out to you and your hard work. I truly appreciate that. Okay, how is Techion Techion Corp for fresher as backend developer? Absolutely zero idea about the company. There are so many companies. It might be one of the best company, might be not. I have zero idea. I have never worked with them. I'm not associated with them, so zero idea. Okay, another super chat. Any plan to review dev portfolios? No, I don't think so, because I get paid to reviews these dev portfolio on these companies to take interviews and all of that. So I don't prefer to actually spend my time in reviewing on YouTube because people on YouTube actually take offend very, very easily. And if I just say, yeah, this project is not good, not worth it, and somebody might take a big offend on that, you never know. Okay, so more super chats and stuff are going on. Okay, Anirudh says Jenkins is magic and savior. Truly impressed after 4 months of using it. Ah, you're using Jenkins now. Good. It's really amazing and awesome that how well Jenkins actually can pull off, but it requires its own master server. Like in the ideal configuration, I usually keep that on a master server. Don't allow anybody to touch that, and then create the slave server on which you can do the configuration of Node, React, whatever you're doing, and pull that through the GitHub. That is like one of the best thing to have it. I should probably make a video on that. Don't you think so? Yeah, we should do it. Okay. I got 2 internships and you are the front person to get that. Hey, congratulations. A big shout out. It's all your hard work. Okay, so quite a lot of super chat. Let me see that how many super chats actually got up here. Okay, the message is so many that it's even started to hang a little bit. Okay, there's another super chat. It's not loading up. Let's give it a couple of minutes. Maybe it will load up. Okay, there's a super chat by Aniket. Okay, it has loaded up now. Hopefully I'll be able to see that. Okay, cannot bring it on the screen, but let me answer that at least. So Aniket says, sir, how are you? I'm a normal developer having 3.5 years of experience in Java full stack. Okay, that's a great experience on a great stack as well. What are your thoughts on shifting to cloud, like doing jobs in AWS, doing certification and all? I have confused. Uh, if you're not enjoying the coding now, or if you want to try something more, like I'm quite done with the programming for like few months, I want to take a break and explore new stuff in the IT world, then definitely AWS is worth exploring that. And what I've realized personally, Aniket, that programmers actually understand AWS quite fast than somebody who is just jumping directly on AWS. So that's one of the thing I have realized. I would say go 100% for it. Go try AWS. But the thing is, just don't go for certification. You will regret it in the longer run that you have spent 2 months or 3 months. All you got is just certificate and no much of the practical knowledge. So instead of going directly for targeting the certificate, target that I want to host my applications. I want to containerize thing. I want to use Kubernetes. I want to use DynamoDB or some of the MySQL stuff. So try that out. Bring up a lot of applications. Learn about Jenkins, Ansible. These things are gonna be much more interesting. Some people are asking me personal question as well. Do you have GF? I don't know what GF is. What kind of thing it is? People go that much. I'm not Mumbaikar Nikhil to share everything, all of my personal life. I like to keep my personal life away from YouTube. Okay. Okay, Rupesh says, any open source product from your side, Hitesh? Haven't thought much about it. Maybe we can convert that resume kind of stuff open source. Maybe. I haven't given much thought on the open source yet. And again, just one more time, I would like to do this announcement one more time. I'm hiring people for competitive programming. I want to conduct more competitions on competitive programming, and that's why I need 1 or 2 people, folks who can design these questions and can host competitions for us. We have a lot of giveaways pending up, and we want to do that via competitive programming way. So reach me out. You will get nicely paid, and these competition will be totally free for all of the audience. We are gonna do all the giveaways and stuff. So in case you want to join up or something like that, reach me out on Instagram, and we can discuss that. What's your experience? Just don't say hi. Just send more of your experience and what you can do and how you can plan all of that. If you've done these things on the college level or something, so reach me out. Okay, there is a super chat by Kumar Sarvesh. Guruji, hey, how are you? I've done your MERN React, and as you suggested in live stream that to build confidence, learn from somewhere else too. I'm learning from Brad and enjoying. Hey, good thing. Just send a lot of love to Brad as well. Again, if you're learning from other resources, that's a good thing. You should really try that more often. Maybe there are few code issues or code quality stuff that is much better in Brad or somebody else. You can learn that thing from there. Maybe you follow some of the designers, some of the developers, DevOps guys. Learn as much as you can. That's always a good thing. And hang around with me as well. Why not? Okay, Rajat says, when you will make course on cloud technologies or DevOps technologies? Hopefully soon in the future. No promises on that. I haven't thought on much on that. Your thoughts on UI consultants in India? Not much of a scope because not a lot of people prefer to hire UI consultants in India. Rather, they prefer to hire people who are not just consultant but actually can design, develop, and modify all of their products. So they prefer to hire UX people directly, not just consultants. There is definitely an importance of consultancy as well, but here the mindset is a little bit different, at least in India. Every market is different. You cannot compare that it should all be like US. US is a different market, India is a different market. Even Netflix realized that and launched everything in just 199. It's a different market. It's always going to be different. We are one of the strangest and one of the unique market in India. We have these Harley Davidson and a Rolls Royce, and side by side we have a cow which is just on the road. So all these three things are really absolutely hard to see in any other country. That's why you need to understand it's a unique market. Okay, so come on, it's going really fast. Nikhilesh, thank you so much for super chat. Then why government agencies still use physical server? Come on, is that even a question? Of course they will do. They need their own server, their own privacy. That's why they are using the .gov. Come on, is that even a question? You might be saying, hey, if everything is on cloud, why Amazon is using their own hardware servers? Come on, is that a question? Like, just try to think a little bit before asking this question. Rennie says, do you think SBS stock will reach 415? Maybe. I don't care. I just have them in the good price and good amount. I'm not here to sell them for next 6, 7, or 8 years. I'm going to hold them off. I don't sell stocks. I just buy them. If it grows even to 1,000, I'm all happy guy. Even if it comes down to 300, I'm still a happy guy because I'm not selling it. I'm holding it down till for next 7, 8 years or something more. I'm all happy wherever it goes. And of course, I bought them in way cheaper. So, uh, we want new wallpaper. Yes, Akshay. Terribly sorry. You definitely should have more wallpapers. I am still running behind. I have a video to make on my VS Code theme. I even have thought out the title for that video, not even getting that. I need to roll out all of these wallpapers and stuff. There's a lot that needs to be done. And I'm running all busy. Just open this lockdown. This lockdown is like going way, way off, and I'm not able to cope up with so much of work that is coming up. Okay, why enterprises use ASP.NET? I still don't know why they use ASP.NET. I have never worked on it, so I don't really understand the mindset of why somebody is using it, what was the necessity of it, how they came up with the decision of using it. I'm not saying it's bad, it's definitely good. It's serving thousands of people, so it's definitely good. But I'm really not able to understand that thought process, so no idea. Okay, most important thing to start an edutech startup. Most important thing is don't teach kids programming. You should not do that. 5-year-old kid, 3-year-old kid, they're even confused yet to write their name and the spelling of their name. So in the edtech startup, don't teach kids programming. Teach kid more about ability to think, and just launch a startup who allows them to play cricket and basketball. Come on. Okay, so quite a lot of questions that we have answered here. It's almost like 9. Is Node now worth it? Node is now in the one of the prime phase of it. Haven't you seen the web containers? I haven't made a video on that. I'll definitely try to put up a video on the web containers. Node probably it is in its prime age right now. It's growing and it's gonna grow a lot with a couple of new features that are coming up, including the web container. So yes, it is gonna grow. Okay, a course on MongoDB aggregation. I am talking. I'm in between one of the talk with MongoDB team, the entire core team of MongoDB. So maybe we are gonna stuck with some deal or something. We can bring up some one of the best course on the internet on MongoDB via their sponsorship. Maybe if we are able to close that deal, that's gonna be awesome. Let's see. And if that deal actually happens, then we surely can bring up one of the best series on MongoDB you have ever seen. Is AWS less dev friendly than Azure? No, both of them are horrific. Yes, both of them are not developer friendly by any means, neither GCP or anything. Okay. Faraz says, are you Illuminati? How did you came to know that I am Illuminati or not? Do you have any proof of that? I don't know. Karthik says, is using microservices a good idea for a startup? No, it's not a good idea. There are a lot of issues in the microservices. Let me give you an example of that. So hold your thoughts here. When you're doing a startup, all of your data points are not really on 100% rock that it's not going to move. Sometimes you add more things into database, some new tables are being created, and you come up with a new feature that requires a new row in the table or something like that. And microservices is an architecture in which there is one database, and this database is being connected through multiple services which are independent of each other. The whole idea of microservices is that if I update this service, it should not affect this service. Okay, that's fine, looks great on paper. But in the startup, as soon as your database is going to get an update, that update needs to propagate in all of the services. And that is where microservices actually suffer in the startup. Big companies, they are already done with their data and database, so you can move up an microservice architecture there. But in the startup, this is the issue you are going to face. The moment you change a minor thing in the database, entire team now need to deploy all of these changes in all the microservices. So I hope that makes sense now. Now you have this information, so make your decision based on this information. Okay, there is another super chat. Let's go ahead and take that. Khurshid Alam, it says, I'm a PHP developer and want to switch in Node. How much Node should I know to crack their interview? A lot. At least how you can develop APIs in the Node, that's the minimum, because you are replacing somebody in the backend side. So you should know really how well the backend needs to done. And if you take up my MERN course, I think that's more than enough to help you in developing all the backend. You don't need to go for the React side if you're not looking to go for that, but just finish that course halfway till we design the backend and you'll be all good to go. You don't need to learn too much, just brush up your basics with my free JavaScript course and then take the MERN course and you should be fine really quickly. In fact, in one of our team, there was this guy who was actually core PHP developer. We needed the developer to migrate into Node. So we pulled him up from one team and pulled it into Node. Within like 3 weeks, he was all done and good and is now working full time in just building APIs on the Node. Okay, Hitain says, how to get internship in machine learning. Not internship, but maybe very soon I'll announce a job opening because there is this one guy for which I have to take interviews on machine learning. They're hiring freshers in machine learning and they need, I guess, 20 to 30 candidates. They have actually got funding now. So we were discussing it today that they will need 20 to 30 more developers in data science, machine learning, Python based probably. So I'll definitely announce that on Instagram or probably on YouTube as well, that we need developers on that. And there will be multiple interview rounds, one of them which I'll be taking, and then you will be heading to that company. We'll be shifting you on that company. So not internship, but yes, hopefully by the next month, the jobs are going to come in. Definitely not internship. And I'm not pro in pro side of the internship much. Okay, so okay, a couple of other super chats are coming in. Okay, there is one from Nikhil Ahuja. Uh, please GUID for MuleSoft and how to learn and prerequisite. Sorry, zero idea about that. Not even familiar of that. Okay, are you ever worked at Fang? that's that's nice way of putting the words actually, but yes, I have worked multiple times on Fang. And if you strictly just say Fang, then yes, just one or two times. But if you expand this Fang horizon to more of that scale of companies, then yes, multiple times, but mostly as a contractor. I love being contractor. It gives me more freedom than get a job and always go there and stuff like that. So okay, so I guess that's pretty much it. Okay, there's a question. Technical Home, do you eat mango, especially kesar? Yes, of course. Who says no to mango? Okay, Abhijit says, are you happy with 631K subscriber? More than happy. This is really a big, big number. And that's why I don't even ask now to hit subscribe or anything. If you wish, you can do subscribe. If you don't wish, that's okay. I'm having a whole lot of enough audience. I'm enjoying with you guys. If more people join up, that's great. I always love that. But I'm enjoying a lot with you. And I'm satisfied with the amount of subscribers that I have. 600 is a big number, guys. I was already happy with 100K. Then it moved to 500K, and I was all happy with the 500K also. I'm just trying to serve that I have 500,000 people. I need to put better content and unique content and something that they can use every single day. So let's just serve this 500,000 audience and forget about anything else. So yeah, I don't really care about for new audience or anything like that. If they join, I am appreciating that. I'm truly grateful for that. But I'm all happy with the amount of subscribers that I have. It's big. I never thought that this much of the people are gonna be on my channel. Truly thankful to you. Okay, last super chat for the day. So suggest me some topics from a Java for interview. Focus on the core Java. Don't go too much into the. What happens is people actually go too much fancy, multi-threading and all of that stuff. Stick to basics. Basics should be absolutely rock solid, and then after for that, and surely just go for that. Good luck. You have already learned a lot in Java, so don't worry too much. Another super chat from Satish Kumar Reddy. No questions there, just support. So thank you so much, Satish Kumar Reddy. I really appreciate that. Hitesh, okay, there's another Hitesh, not me. You are saying that you'll make videos on AWS. Can we expect? Hopefully, definitely in the future. Do you think Tesla stock is a bubble? I don't have that much of trust in Tesla as I have in some of the Indian companies. If it gets registered in India and get in the share market, I probably won't be buying its share that much in the quantity that I buy other shares. The company is not yet into the core selling of the business. They are still making a lot of money by selling the green points. I'm not really much into that. If they make money by selling more of these cars and then the revenue grows up, that's what the business model I like. There's a super chat. Thank you so much, Sumanath, for the super chat. Hitesh, thanks for your work. Thank you so much. I can program which runs on command line, especially in Python, avid user of command line. How can I start my journey in, come on, where is that? How can I start my journey in front-end programming? For now, I have no idea on JS. If you are comfortable in writing Python programs on command line, I highly recommend to take my course, which is freelance development for Django. You'll feel right at home in the Python and you will learn the entire flow of how it goes on. Surely it requires a little bit of HTML and CSS as well, but not much. I have provided you those templates in that course. So I highly recommend to take that course. And just after finishing, it just, I guess, 199 or 299 rupees. So the super chat that you have done, do a one super chat on LCO and you'll get that course. And you should definitely jump on that. You don't need any JS or anything in that. You can just build everything in Python. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so I guess that's all what we are taking. Please don't do any super chat now. I just want to take regular questions as well a little bit at the end. Hitesh, thoughts on crypto? Still not a fan and still not able to convince myself to invest some money in crypto. So yeah. Okay, just want to appreciate your efforts. Thank you, thank you. Give tips, advice for beginners. Let me give you one tip. Tips don't work. None of the tip work. Neither in share market, neither in programming, neither. Tips don't work. Hard work, effort, these are the things to work. And most importantly, consistency. Consistency works. I'm the living proof in front of you. Consistency work. Okay, Prajyot Joshi says, will you collaborate with Aman Dhattarwal? Of course, why not? I'm always ready to collaborate with anybody. Aman Dhattarwal is doing a different work. He's more into, I guess, into 12th and physics and all of that. Yes, he do a little bit of programming as well, but I am on to different side of production and moving things into some. Everybody who has done a little bit of coding and move the things into production know that we are completely in different categories. So again, no problem. Even if we do same thing that I do, I have no problem in collaborating. When you sit with the like-minded people, you grow actually. It's not like you are competition or something. You grow more with like-minded people. Why Python is not used in front end? It was never made to be a front end language. That's why. You might be saying that, hey, why we don't use bat in basketball? It was never designed for that game. Basketball was designed for the basketball. Baseball was designed for baseball. I hope that makes sense. Okay, there's another super chat. Okay, you can stop doing the super chat now. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. There is this super chat I'm not able to find, which says, why don't you talk about TypeScript as much as you do for JavaScript? I guess that was the question. Uh, I don't really work too much in TypeScript. I majorly work on JavaScript. An existing project that comes up to me, they're also in uh, JavaScript. So I only talk about the things that I work. You might be saying, why don't you talk much about the GCP? I don't work too much on GCP. I can only talk about the things which I know. You might be saying, why don't you talk about Ruby on Rails? I don't work there much. Okay, Dattaram Nayak says, Dattaram Nayak. Sorry for butchering a name. Truly, truly sorry. Uh, Suggestion, sir. Hello, sir. Need your suggestion on WordPress. Will WordPress come back? Will WordPress will be used by most of the companies in future? In short, I just want to know the scope of front-end development using WordPress. WordPress is not going anywhere. Surely, since the journey is a little bit easier in the WordPress or to move into WordPress for any beginner, and that is one of the reasons why you see so much of competition. If things are easy, you are going to see more competition there. That's why the projects, when you bid them, the bid keeps on going lower. But if you see the same bid on React or Node.js or React Native, Flutter, the bid actually sometimes go even above. So it's definitely going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere, but the pricing eventually, like in the initial days when I used to work in React Native, just a minimum basic login apps and things like that, you can easily charge $2,000 for that. Now you cannot. Now you have to work on $1,500 or something like that. And eventually this pricing is going to go lower. And if you work in the state of the art tech, then you can charge more. WordPress is older, it's easier, just like that. So that was the super chat by Jan Tudeb. It says, why don't you talk about TS like others? Again, as I told you, I don't work much on that. Is Angular dying? Okay, I'll give you credit on that. I probably use this as a clickbaity title for some of my next YouTube videos. Is Angular dying? Is React dying? I'm pretty sure that's gonna get uh, a whole lot of stuff like that, attention and all of that, so stuff like that. AWS Tour is so good. Hey, thank you so much. In case you have taken up my serverless course at Elsia, it's free, by the way. Okay, so Mayank says, Mayank actually sums it up. Hard work and consistency. Yep, my friend. Yep, that's the most important thing. Okay, Vibha says, hey Tesh, sir, just got my first job as an Android developer. Big shout out and big cheers. Thanks for all the motivation and knowledge. I hope you are healthy. Yes, I'm all doing good. And I hope you are doing good as well. And again, big congratulations for your first job. Give it your best effort. I wish you all the best of luck. Okay. Saiful says, can we use JavaScript for problem solving? Yes, a problem is being solved without programming first. You don't talk or touch about that what programming is or even how we are going to write a code for that. That's not how you solve problem. You first solve the problem on paper. Haven't you seen that in my tech interview that we never touch programming until unless we actually finish the things on paper, so stuff like that. Okay. Akshara says, I want to start my YouTube coding channel. How should I start? Any guidance, please? Just share what you know. And it's an important skill that you not only just share the code, but also explain the code. Presentation should be good. If you can spend a little bit on the audio gears, it's an investment. If you want to start YouTube, it's an investment. At least what I think and consider of it. Good mic, good camera. Like, of course, I don't expect this much of quality for any new beginner to get with that. But yeah, if you can bring this on, that is always appreciated. Is it good to do master degree in cloud computing? I think yes. You learn a lot of insight in the masters. Definitely, you learn a lot of details about hypervisor, one of the Australian clouds. It's almost in all of the degrees in India. So yeah, I think that's good up here. Okay, Subaraj, Surab, Saurabh Jain Tiwari. Sorry, I'm truly sorry. I sometimes mess up with the name. Any thought on Nest.js over Express? No, still on Express side. I know Nest.js is taking a lot of hype and it's worth looking at. But yeah. Okay. Mr. Borse says, is giveaway still on LCO website? Nothing is on anywhere, my friend. How am I going to ship in this lockdown? Use a little bit of brain.exe. It's everything is locked down. How can I ship anything in this such horrible condition where we are? That's why I went ahead and stopped the giveaway before the lockdown actually happened a few days earlier. I knew it that that's already coming. We could have already seen that. I don't want to compromise any of my students that, hey, because of this t-shirt, it was packed by somebody, it was delivered by somebody, and you got this bad thing because of me. How would I live with that? So that's why no giveaways or anything is happening. Okay, there is a super chat by Sajid Sheikh. Hi Tesh, any time management tips? Because you are doing many things and still you managed to do live on Saturday. How to be motivated while learning a new tech? Thank you so much. One of the reason that I'm able to do these lives on YouTube because I love this. I don't get that much of amount to be motivated just for money. I honestly love making videos. I love being on YouTube. Whether it just is a live or I just make any random videos or fun stuff. You see that on my Instagram all the time. I post sometimes fun videos, sometimes just a shot of taking my camera and shooting my lenses. I love this filmmaking stuff. And one of the most important thing to stay consistent on anything is you start loving the things. It's not going to be easy. Do you think these filmmaking, editing videos for hours is easy? No, it's not. Putting up these LUTs even on these lives, it's not easy. It took me years and I struggled a lot. But start loving the process. And that's why I always say, love the process and you're going to love this thing. When you see people in the gym, you you always say that some of the guys are buff and stuff like that. They are not in one day. They have started to love the process of hitting the weight, uh, pumping the iron, nice clean diet. So love the process. That's the only thing. Okay, so that's all. We have spent really more than 30 minutes. So that's a clickbaity title in this video as well. It was not a 30-minute live. We went way ahead than this. Okay. So now Clubhouse is in Android, as you said. I told you, it's going to come on Android. They cannot just leave that alone. Okay, so that's all what we'll be doing it up for today. And there's another super chat. Come on, guys, don't do this when I'm just going away. One more here is from Shashank. Thank you so much for the super chat. Another one is from Omkar. It says, you are doing a great job, sir. Just wanted to know, do you use create React app in production? If yes, how do you manage SEO? Is it important for startup? No, we don't. We don't use create React app now. It's always create next app or create Gatsby app. It's usually like that. But don't you worry. These all features are about to come in the React as well, so that you can again start using React app in case you don't need any bloatware given by Next or all these things. So again, thank you so much. And no, we don't use much of the create React app in production now. Some of the components, just teeny tiny, that needs to be separated out, and we don't want to create another Gatsby big app for that. We use React app, but on those products, we are not worried about SEO or anything. For the main application on the homepage or something, absolutely, it's never create React app nowadays. Okay, so my phone has already given me notification 2 times that, yeah, it's time now for you to join the meeting and leave that live, Hitesh, because people who have hired me are also watching this. Okay, Patel, 30 मिनट बोल के 1 घंटा scam है ये. Bongo. He's actually my school buddy, so he's allowed to say that. You come to my home. Okay. So I can actually say all the people to give you love on your Instagram and say the home name to all of you. I can do that if you wish. Okay, so anyways, yes, we have done a clickbaity title. After saying 30 minutes, we have been here for a long while. So, okay, thank you so much to all of you. I really, really appreciate that. Now let me just bring up some of the message. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye-bye. Keep enjoying, keep writing code, keep learning that, and all of that. So, okay. Bye-bye to all of you.